Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for Tower of God Chapter 554, Season 3, Episode 137. Excited to get into things this week, as I always am. Not really any need for a super long intro or anything. I guess the only things, I have three things I want to talk about, topics that were brought up in like the comments or just one thing I want to talk about. Okay, so the one thing that's not a topic brought up from the comments that I want to talk about is I had it confirmed by Luck. Thank you, Luck, from the comments, from the chat. Confirmed that what I read from that one person wasn't a spoiler, so I haven't been spoiled. They really worded it like a spoiler, though. They really said, you'll see this in the upcoming chapters. But apparently, no, that was not correct. That doesn't actually happen in the future chapters, so I wasn't spoiled on anything. So I went ahead and I was like, I'm on ban the person. And then I realized over the years that I've done YouTube, I've only banned 24 people. But they aren't like in the order that I banned them in. So I was like, I don't remember this guy. I don't know who it was. So I opened the gates to Impel down. I freed everyone. Everyone gets a second chance. Except for 4 people who I like knew. I was like, okay, I know it wasn't them. So yeah, basically the prisons have been opened, everyone's free, second chances for all. But I feel like 24 people banned in like 7 years is really not a bad deal. So yeah, that's the first thing. Second thing and third thing are just 2 things from the chapter that I wanted, like last week's chapter, I wanted to talk about just a teeny bit more before we get into reading the next one. The first one is about what Robodon is doing, because people had asked me what I thought about that. Basically what I think is going on, like, as strong as he might be, nobody's touching a family head, obviously. So what I think is going on, what I think Traumare's general plan is that Traumare wants to have the waifu tournament. Traumare wants to get Bomb on his side, wants to get another irregular in the Lopobia family. So I think whatever the plan is with Lobodon or Robodon is just basically to buy time, to serve as a distraction, to give Traumare enough time to have this tournament so that he gets Bomb into the Lopobia family. I think that's what Lobodon's deal is, because obviously he's not taking down Gastang. As for where he is specifically, I thought about it after reading, like during the moment reading the chapter, I was like, 44th floor, I don't remember what's there. But then going back, after finishing reading, I'm like, oh, 44th floor, that's the last station floor, and it's right beside the Floor of Death, and the Floor of Death does have connections to Gastang, so maybe Lobodon's going to be attacking the Floor of Death. That could be a possibility. I think that's just sort of an easy guess, since he is just 1 floor away from something that is important, or I mean, I guess maybe not important, but at least has a connection to Gastang. So we might actually get to see the Floor of Death again pretty soon, which would be pretty cool. That would be my guess for what's going on there. It's just a distraction to buy some time for Traumare to have this tournament and get Bomb on his side, and at the same time, what I think they might specifically be doing is going after the Floor of Death. Or at least something like on the Floor of Death. Maybe even Garam if Garam is working with Gastang, but I'm not 100% on it. I would assume that they are, at least somewhat working together from what bit we've seen. And then the other thing was the one soldier guy that traveled around everywhere with the Bomb, Cha, Jinsung, and Lilial group last chapter. People had brought up, oh, do you think that's possibly the Daijang / captain / boss? And it could be. I don't think so, at least not the same one, because when they warped away, that guy was still with Machete. But there could be any number of other ones, since there are multiple. But personally, one thing that I thought about him while reading, but I didn't want to say anything and sound stupid, was like, oh, I wonder if that's the same one that was in the Yasracha flashback that killed all of Yasracha's. Because remember, there was this one workshop soldier in the Yasracha flashback who brought him to the Lopobia battleship and also slaughtered all of his allies after he was a ranker. So that person is maybe strong, maybe special, maybe we'll never see him again and they don't matter. But that's what I thought about. Or because the uniform is just kind of generic, it just could be a generic random guard and mean nothing. But if anything, I would predict I don't know. I don't know what I would predict. It could be the guy from the Yasracha flashback. It could be one of the Daijang captains in disguise. Who knows? But either way, 5-minute intro over. Sorry to keep you so long. Let's actually start reading, and like I've been doing, because of not being able to show the chapter and all, I'm just going to read. You can read along in another tab or whatever, but if I stop and talk about any panel in specific or really need to show you anything, I can just throw it up really quick when I do that. So yeah, either way, since we're only allowed 20 chapter or I always say 20 chapters a panel, 20 panels a chapter or whatever, then if I come across a panel here or there that I'm okay, I'll use this one, I'll just throw it up on screen. But yeah, either way, that's it. Let's start getting into reading. We got chapter 554, season 3, episode 137, and it looked like Bomb with his hair down was in the thumbnail. And we're seeing the scene from the end of last time. You sure make a lot of noise for a ranker from the Zahard family. And I was saying, I think it was in Naya's comments last week, I was like, if you're Ren, you have got to just say, day's done. Plan's cooked, it's over, I'm leaving. What do you do at this point? Bomb sits up, gives this speech. We have the cool panel with the, not even really a speech, he just basically embarrasses you. And we see the panel with the two Thrisses and the Leviathan behind him, and it's what do you do if you're Ren? If you're Ren, you just leave. There's nothing you're doing at this point. There's nothing. I was wondering who might be giving off such vicious shinsu that it would wake a newborn baby. It's you. Huh, what's going on here? Long time no see, Ren. Why does he look so powerful? Were you looking for me? Tower of God, Lopo be a Ren too. Alright, how can this be? I love his big, goofy, googly eyes. I've heard ridiculous rumors about him defeating rankers, but he's still just a regular. And I actually want to talk a bit about that and what I think, for the tournament and stuff. I'll save that for the end, because it could be kind of a longer discussion. But I want to talk a bit about, the tournament, and, not really power scaling, but just how crazy strong Bomb is and what it might mean. But he's still just a regular. At this point, he's an irregular, and, basically everybody knows this. It's and you hear, it's not even just rumors. He confirmed, beat Test Ranker Pan. That's, in the books. So it's at this point, why is any character dumb enough to be but he's still just a regular? I got that back in season 2, that would make sense. But now, season 3, we have confirmed sightings of him beating rankers, basically. At this point, there is no reason for any ranker character to still be pulling the he's just a regular thing. They should know at this point. Lopo be a Ren, former director of the test floor. I only found out later that you're an assassin for the Zahard family. Geez, put those grippers away! Look at the massive feet on this panel. Why does he look so relaxed and powerful? I know you tried to kill Anak, simply because she's the daughter of a runaway Zahard princess. And I know you tried to harm Endorsi for protecting her as well. And he pulls out a battle stance. You evil monster. I like the hair down Bomb look. I like this look for him. And we see the real eyes inside the mouth. So what? Are you going to get revenge against me? I'm a member of the Royal Guard, the most top secret group in Zahard's entire army. So again, I'm wondering with the translation, is he literally Royal Guard now? Or is that just what they're calling the RED? And he sends out these tongue attacks. Again, why are these people still dumb enough to attack? He even sensed how powerful Bomb was. Why is he being this dumb? Also, this room is looking mighty spacious, having Bomb jump up and these tongue attacks miss. Bomb still rushing in towards the center. He forms 4 bongs actually around himself. And it looks like he's starting to blast through, but we have 5 in this next panel. And, okay, he's going in for a punch. And does he just... Hold on. It doesn't look like he's clocking Ren away. It looks like Ren is, like, dodging, almost what is it? The spinny, is that Juan Salsa? Almost like Juan Salsa style? It looks, yeah, it looks like he's just slipping through all of Bomb's attacks. And then we have this kick, and I guess it still misses. Interesting. So is he the master of the sidestep? What do we have going on here? Yeah, it looks like Ren, master of the sidestep. That's crazy. Because, like, Bomb is powered up even since beating Pan. Before Pan, he didn't have, like, the Blue Thrissa transformation. He didn't have Leviathan. And he's not, like, necessarily using them here. But actually, like, this is feats for Ren, even just dodging him, I feel like. Damn it. I see potential weak spots, but he's so hard to hit. So honestly, yeah, I feel like Ren is impressing me more than the potential in Holen. And now we have Leviathan behind him. I feel like he's hiding something else, but at the same time, I don't want to admit it. Usually, I trust my Rancor instinct when it warns me of danger, but I don't want to listen to it right now. You're just ignoring it. How could a regular possibly be dangerous? I feel like you should know at this point. I refuse to accept that. Got it? And then, is he doing a self-destruct type attack? Or no, he's summoning something from his mouth. Okay, then. Oh! JamJam! Oh my god, JamJam cut it in half. The GOAT. Oh man, JamJam is the best. JamJam feats just standing up to a Royal Enforcement Division / Royal Guard member. Oh man, I love JamJam. Just the best. Who are you? I'm the manager of this hotel. Advanced Rancor. Lopobia. JamJam. JamJam is the best. An Advanced Rancor from the Lopobia family. He doesn't even know who he is. Ren is from the same family and a Royal Guard, and you could say, yeah, it's because he's an assassin. But JamJam doesn't even know who he is. Which, I mean, you could make the argument that that just is like, you know, not hype for JamJam because he doesn't have this info. But it's also, it could be hype because he's just a mosquito. But as the manager, I can't allow anyone to harm my guests or disturb their sleep. This is a warning, mosquito. Please leave the room. Leave the room? You mean me, not him? That's right. He's a guest here and you're an outsider. Hotel manager. Leave? This is the Lopobia battleship. That guy works as an agent for FUG, and I'm a devoted servant of the Zahard family, who's originally from Lopobia, and yet you're asking me to leave. I refuse to leave like this. And we see the part that was cut off looks like it has leeches coming from it. He's the one who should leave. Uh-oh. It's alive? Not me. And it goes after Bomb. Alright. But he blows it apart. He just did that like it was nothing. Maybe I didn't need to get involved after all. JamJam is so hype. Oh my god, and this panel's cool too. JamJam is the coolest. You don't have to leave, Ren. I'm happy to keep going. You arrogant little bastard. That's enough, you two. Stop fighting. You might wake the family head. What? The family head? You mean he's sleeping somewhere around here? Yes, in a room connected to this place. But he might wake up if you make too much noise. I'm sure you realize what a serious offense it is to disturb the family head's sleep. I'll show you to the room where you'll be kept for the time being. Follow me. And he flies off. The coolest. I'm going to kill you. Just wait as Ren walks past. Also, I love, somebody brought it up in Dr. Bonehead's stream last week, how, like, as Yuga, he was Bomb's, like, first teacher. Cool. Man, I really like these panels as well. Early the next morning, Lopobia Ren's room. I see. So you came straight over to the battleship after receiving a message that day. and you don't know who sent the message. If I knew, I would have tried to track them down right away. I couldn't believe the news. Okay, and so Ren's filling JamJam in. But then I saw the Slayer candidate leaving the station and realized the ridiculous news must be true. I was so pissed. Well, I'm sure no one here has sent out any messages yet. Someone knew when the family head would be on the move, and they took advantage of that brief window of opportunity to spread the news. It must have been someone on the floating ship with Princess Lilial. I'd better report this to the family head tomorrow. And now we see morning. I see. So word about the tournament has already gotten out. Alright, JamJam. And JamJam gets talked to directly by Drama. Oh my god, JamJam is the coolest person. Oh, I love him so much. I am just full on JamJam support hype train till I die. Who could have spread the news to a few specific people in such a short period of time? I can only think of one person. Bring me Ha Jinsung. So yeah, I would have assumed they would think it was Jinsung, because that makes the most sense. But really, why would it be Jinsung? And especially, why would Jinsung tell, Ren of all people? So I actually don't think it is Jinsung. I think this might be a misdirect. You wish to see me, sir? That's right. I heard you stirred up some trouble while I was on my way to the battleship. That message that Zahard shared with the Royal Guards. You sent it, didn't you? Okay, so Zahard shared it with the Royal Guards, so Zahard is the one who got the message. Yes, sir. Okay, so no, never mind, he did. I wrote it. I sent the news anonymously to a few other people as well. I said I'd prepare everything myself. Why did you go ahead and spread the word without my permission? What's the point of taking a month to prepare? The war will start before then anyway, and you'll find a way to use Viol in the war. That's why I sent the message, to a few groups and individuals who might oppose this marriage. I inferred the battleship's approximate location from the floating ship's destination. I didn't break my promise to you. You weren't going to keep your word to me, so I simply gathered some participants myself. You can punish me if you want, but at least hold the tournament as promised, sir. You know what your problem is, Jinsung. You're not afraid of anything. If I kill you now, it'll be harder to control the Slayer candidate, so I'll spare you for now. But give JamJam a list of the places and people you contacted. If you do that, I'll let this slide. Yes, sir. Was there anything else? Go. Man, this is a great chapter. Yes, sir. That was easier than I expected, he thinks. That kid hasn't changed at all. The tournament's just a formality. He still thinks he can change the destiny that we've chosen for him. Just like before, he's putting up a struggle for nothing. He knows very well that he can't change anything. JamJam. Yes, sir. After you get the list of names from Ha Jinsung, open the gate and allow them through. I'm not exactly sure how Jinsung figured out the exact location of the battleship, but if he wants to eliminate anyone who might oppose the marriage in advance and help us justify the whole plan, there's no reason to refuse his help. Yes, sir. By the way, what should I do about the Serpent Master that you wanted to use? According to the plan... Okay, Serpent Master, hold on. Is this the Snake Charmer? Is this a mistranslation? Are we going to see Snake Charmer again? Because Snake Charmer is hugely important to the lore. He's the one out here choosing princesses. And his, young design was so badass on Hidden Floor that I'm people never talk about him. People never bring him up. I never see Snake Charmer theories or anything. But he is, a super important, super hype character, I feel like. So that's really cool. It doesn't matter how many people or who Jinsung invited. Aside from the princesses, the fate of everyone who comes here is already decided. It's going to be a massacre. Once all the participants are dead, there will be no reason to hold this silly tournament. Okay, so it's just it's just a sham to begin with? Summon the Slayer candidate for me, JamJam. Yes, sir. Alright. That night, hotel manager JamJam's room. This is the list of people that Jinsung shared the news with. I really hope we get to see the list. Most of the people here should be fine, but this one might be a bit of a problem. And we see Yuri, okay. So Yuri was given the info, so obviously she's probably going to show up. A few days earlier, an uncharted area in the middle of the tower. Warning. Okay, we're actually seeing Yuri. That's crazy. That's so cool. I wasn't expecting to actually see her. This is a shrine to our tribe's sacred god. And what is she even doing out in the middle of the tower? If you come any closer, you'll receive the worst punishment in the tower. We're warning you, intruder. You think I want to be here? I'm just following orders. Okay, confirmate. Holy shit, this is the best part of the chapter. Confirmation she has Black March. So Black March hasn't just been like weirdly sitting around and bombed this whole time, which is great confirmation. Because I feel like that's something that a lot of people have brought up is like, for the past 3 years and for all of season 3 so far, has Black March just been chilling inside of Bomb without being seen? Confirmation, Yuri's got Black March now. Okay. You think I want to be here? I'm just following orders. What century are we living in? What kind of person punishes his daughter nowadays? With military conscription. Okay, so that's what happened to Yuri. And Yuri's looking great here. Like, I love the way her hair looks with the current art style. Zahar's princess, Yuri Zahard. This is practically abuse. Conscripted into the army on probation. Let's get this over with. Alright, and that's where we have to be continued. That was a great chapter. I really liked that one. I liked that one a lot. That was so good. Yeah, I don't know, it's really good. Hype for JamJam. From the very beginning, the stuff with Bomb and Ren was so good. It was really good. Because Bomb looked cool. Bomb looked awesome. But Ren didn't look like a pushover either. Ren actually looked decent, which wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting him to just be embarrassed, and it's like, well, what's even the point? But Ren actually looked good. Like, I like that. He's a royal guard. He should look good. So having Ren actually look good here is great. The conversation with Jinsung and Traumare and all the plotting that's going on there between both of them is really great. Also, that Jinsung contacted Yuri, really good. I guess maybe that's a part of his plan that he mentioned to Bomb, that he has a plan to make sure this doesn't go bad or whatever. Really great. That's really, it's so cool. So good. And then the stuff at the end, we get to see Yuri again. We get to learn what her punishment was. It was military conscription. And so importantly, we get to know that she still has Black March, which I think is a big thing, because it would be confusing if Bomb had Black March this whole time and we just hadn't seen her. And it's like, what is she doing? Okay, like, I like this so much. And I like Black March being with Yuri more. Just because that keeps the princess and 13-month thing, or 13 months thing going together there. And it also, like, Bomb doesn't need Black March. Again, he has the blue and red Thrissa going on. He has the Leviathan. And something that we basically haven't seen for season 3, he has the Thorn. That should be, like, the most important thing. Like, beyond the blue and red Thrissa, he doesn't even need those story-wise. We could have just had the story and justified how strong Bomb is just for him being an irregular and having the Thorn. Like, that's enough. That's plenty. So yeah, that was really good. The one last thing that I mentioned that I'd talk about at the end with Bomb being super strong in this tournament, again, if rankers and high rankers can participate and Yuri can participate, I think that changes things and makes things a lot more exciting. And for people upset at, like, the strength discrepancy between, like, well, how's Lilial supposed to be in a tournament where Yuri's competing? It could always be a case where the tournament isn't just straight up fights, where there is a twist to it, which would be good and make sense and make it more interesting. But also, to me, I like the idea of introducing a power creep in the sense that regulars aren't useless. I would really like regulars to not be useless. And again, I don't think that bothers me from what we've seen. We've seen Hatsu and Shibisu and all of these other regulars, Kun and Rax, surviving in competitions and stuff like the Cat Tower, where there's also rankers and high rankers running around, and they're not just getting immediately eviscerated in one shot. And I'm like, I am fine with that. I'm fine. Like, here's, people crucified me the last time I said this, but so Bomb beat Pan without even busting out a lot of the cool things he can do. He beat a ranker, and we saw Pan just murked this mountain of other rankers. These guys that were like, a regular beat him, let's try to raise our ranks. Pan wiped them out. You're telling me that these guys, like say there's a Zahard's Princess on the 90th floor, they're not really that far from making it to the top of the tower, becoming a ranker or high ranker themselves. You're going to tell me that one of the scrubs that Pan beat couldn't stand up to a Zahard's Princess on like the 90th floor? Like, that's the thing. I just feel like some of the scrubs that Pan beat, some of the random no-name rankers that are just random soldiers in Zahard's army, if we were to have Hatsu beat one of them, I'd be like, that's fine. It's a regular beating a ranker, but at the same time, I'd be like, Hatsu's a special character. He's a guy who can use a sword that only people with a pure heart can use, and he's one of the only people that can use it. He beats a ranker. I'm cool with that. Like, Elaine ruled over the name hunt station for 1,000 years as Kaiser. If Elaine beat some random no-name rankers, I would not be upset by that. I'd be like, makes sense. Like, because not every ranker can be that strong. Even like Charlie, who was supposed to be kind of a more special ranker, but who Bomb, again, before Leviathan, before the blue Thrissa transformation, kind of was embarrassing Charlie at the beginning of the nest. Like, if somebody like Elaine or somebody like Andrasi beat Charlie, I wouldn't be upset at that at this point. Like, at this point, I'm like, I think the regulars should not be portrayed as useless. Like, obviously, there are some differences. They're not going to be able to stand up to, like, really powerful characters or anything. But I'm cool with the power creep in the sense that I would rather there be a power creep and regulars be able to stand up to rankers than for regulars to just be useless for the rest of the series. I would much rather have that. And to me, again, like I said, it's more logical. A guy who's on the like 113th floor, who's the ace of his team, like almost a ranker, ace of his team, probably like, you know, a shoo-in to get advanced ranker status once they hit the top floor and get ranked. Like, you're telling me that the ace of a team who like makes it up there and is like almost there but still technically a regular, like if you're telling me they can't beat like a ranker who was like just a nobody on their team who made it to the top but then they just ran off and got a normal sort of job, like one of the losers that Noma was sending after Yurik, like I just feel like a strong regular beating like a loser ranker just logically makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I think about with this tournament. I wouldn't be upset if there wasn't as hard a gap portrayed between some of these like princess level regulars and some rankers. I just really wouldn't be upset by that. And also, as far as Bomb goes, Bomb's extremely powerful now, in my opinion. But the thing is, we don't know how much he's going to hold back for the tournament. That's one thing. And another thing, we don't know if the tournament's just going to be straight up fighting, and I think that's a very important thing to bring up. But also, there's the fact that the tournament, as of this chapter, might not even be happening because Traumerei might just be like, hey, yeah, we're just going to bring in anybody that wants to compete, because if they want to compete, then they don't like this marriage, and then we're just going to kill them and have the marriage anyway, even though that makes less sense to me as a plan. Because it's like, the whole point of the tournament is to make it so that the other families can't be upset if Lopobia wins and then brings Bomb in. They can't be like, hey, it's no fair that you just brought in a second irregular, because they would have won the right to it fair and square. But if you just slaughter everybody and take Bomb anyway, then you're leaving yourself up. Even if you have a second irregular, you're leaving yourself open for like the Ha, Aryeh, and Kun families to just be like, we have 3 irregulars, and we might not get along that well, but if Traumerei pulls some fuck shit, we can just 3v2 him and take out him and this other irregular that he's brought into his family. So this, from Traumeray's point of view, it just being a slaughter and not really having the tournament, unless he does have some grander plan, that doesn't necessarily make sense yet. But yeah, either way, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a bit of a long one. Like if you like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this chapter, my first thoughts and reaction to it. Anything you want to talk about down in the comments, we can talk there. If you want to talk on Discord, ask and I can give you a link. If you want to talk on Twitter, just follow me there. Again, I'm always open to discuss all this with all of you. I try to do it quite a bit. Yeah, outside of that, thank you so much to people who are already patrons and channel members. And if you want to help support the channel that way, it's patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. Or you can just hit join down below, become a channel member. Sorry, hiccup. Huge thank you to all of you who are already patrons and members. I haven't updated this, so some people who aren't members or patrons anymore are still up here, but I don't really mind, because huge thank you to them. Huge thank you to chosen regulars Etchy0 and Evan Holly, Magical Girl FR Nono, Cherryton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidate SG, and a regular Tyrone Beast. It really does mean a lot, and it means a lot that all of you just come and watch these videos. So thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.